Right, that is a track called Throw Down Your Sword by Wishbone Ash. Now, who are Wishbone Ash? I can hear you all saying, especially those under 50. Well, Wishbone Ash are responsible for making one of the best albums that I've ever heard. Argus, not to be confused with The Silly Shop. Okay, Argus. This was, I think, was Album of the Year in Britain in 1972. And it features, in my opinion, two of the finest guitar players ever. Andy Powell, who played a wonderful Gibson, and still does, a wonderful Gibson Flying V, and a guitar player called Ted Turner, who played a Strat. And of course, those people who know about guitars will know that they're completely different sounds. And the best sounding guitar I've ever heard recorded in my life is Andy Powell's guitar on this album. Okay, and he's one of the most wonderful lead players because he's full of melody. Everything he does is melodic. Every lick he plays is memorable, as with Ted Turner, but Andy Powell in particular on that album. Now, why am I playing this on a classical guitar? Well, they were famous for their twin lead guitar playing. Long before Thin Lizzy made it fashionable and famous, Wishbone Ash were doing it in the late 60s, very early 70s, and it all came together, particularly on the Argus album. And I thought there's one song on there called Throw Down the Sword, where you've got the two guitars playing together. It's very sort of Elizabethan sounding, you know. And I heard it last night, I was listening to it, and I thought, you know what, that would be good to try it on an acoustic guitar rather than have two electrics playing it. And put it together as a little two guitar. So I put it together about 10 minutes ago, so forgive if it's a little bit ropey, but I was quite excited actually about doing this one. So what I've done is I've tapped it out like that. That would be the first guitar. And what I've done is I've actually I've arranged it so we've put the two guitars together to play like that. Now you can do it, of course, on electric with one guitar. This is the thing, you see, if you've only got one guitar in a band and you wanted to do some Ash, then you know you're going to come unstuck if you do stuff like that, because the audience are used to hearing two guitars in that thing. All right, so it's important that you've got to get that sort of thing right. Makes it a lot more difficult to play, well, twice as difficult in fact, because you know there's two guitars doing there's only one of you. But hey, we can do it. All right, so I'm going to show you how to play it. So before I do, download the tab for this if you want, which is on the, if you look down there, you'll see a little link to it. Download it. It's my tab, so it won't cost you anything. Everything's free on this site, as I keep saying. And you know, when you've got that, you can have a little look at it. And but even if you've never heard the song before or anything, it's just good to do. It's a nice little two-finger thing. When you play it, people will go, "Oh, what's that? What's that?" Whether they've heard the album or not. All right, so let's begin. I'll start with this little intro line. We're just going to kick it off. See, it's got a two there. We're going to do this line twice. All right, and this is the line. Alright, so for this I use my fingers 2 and 3. Okay, so we start off on the 5th string, and just use your thumb and your first finger for this. When we know where all the bits go, we can fiddle around. I mean, I fluffed it a little bit before when I was doing that demonstration because I was using the wrong fingers. But as I say, I just wanted to get it down to you and show you what to do. We can always fiddle and perfect it later on. So let's just go for it and see what happens. And of course, you can use hammer-ons and pull-offs as well if you wish. All right, which I've not yet included in that. So if you see me doing a pull-off instead of going, I do this. You know, you do the same, or hammer-on, whatever. Right, open 5th string. 4th string at the 2nd fret twice, and then again on the 4th string, the 2nd fret, open, back at 2, and then at the 3rd fret twice. Now you'll see I've sort of done it in phrases, boom, 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 do, 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 do. Okay, so dum, 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 da, 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 dum. Back to the 2nd fret, 4th string, open, 5th string at the 3rd twice. That's the 2nd phrase. See? Do, 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 do. Now the last phrase, 5th string at the 2nd fret, then at the 3rd, open 4th, 4th at the 2nd, and then backwards, 4th at the 2nd, 4th open, 5th string at the 3rd, 5th string at the 2nd. So do it twice. And then we're going to go to, now even though we're only going to play strings 4 and 2, I instinctively put that little finger on, that 3rd finger on the 3rd string. You know, it's an A minor. You don't have to do that, you know, but I do, and if I hit the wrong string by mistake, I'm covered with a note that'll fit with the thing. So I'm going to do it. Alright, so we're going to play the main twin lead bit now, which is passage number 1 here, and I'm going to play that twice. Okay, now a little heads up on this. Don't play these 2 notes here when the 2nd time round. The first time round, play it all the way through. The 2nd time round, just play it up to the, I can't actually see, you know, so miss out these 2 here. All right. Yeah, don't play these notes 2nd round. Right. So let's look at the twin notes. 5 and 3 on the A minor. Then 4 and 2 twice. Okay, and then again on the 4 and 2, take the fingers off and play 4 and 2, put them back on again, and then fingers 2 and 3 both at the 3rd fret. So we've got okay, back to the A minor shape, 4 and 2, 4 and 2 open, and then make this shape. Finger 1 at the 2nd fret on the 3rd string and finger 2 on the 5th string at the 3rd fret. And play that twice. Then drop this finger down 1 fret to the 2nd and play 5 and 3. Put it back at the 3rd and replace your 1st finger on the 3rd string at the 2nd fret. Open 4 and 2, 4 and 2, fret 1 and fret 2. Okay, so let me just play up to what we've got. Don't forget, with the tab you'll easily follow this. Okay, that's where we ended it, and now we're just going to finish this off by playing 4 and 2 again, 4 and 2 open, 5 and 3, the 3 is at the 2nd, the 5 is at the 3rd, and then drop down for the last note, last 2 notes. 5th string at the 2nd, 3rd string open. I'll play it slowly now. Do it again, and when you get the hang of it, sort of pick it up. Instead of dropping down to the last one, don't on the second time round, because it's going to do this. So this is pattern number 2 now. So shall we have a look at that one? Pattern number 2. Now, before you even try and play any of this, please listen to the track. Listen to my performance of it. Get the phrasing in your head, otherwise it's impossible. You've got to get it right in here before you can get it right here. All right, really important. So before I play this, I already know the phrasing is going to go da da dum dum da 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 dum da 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 dum dum da 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 dum da da dum dum da 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 dum da 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 dum dum da 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 dum da da dum. So it's already going around in my head. So you need to get that. People that don't read music, playing by ear is all about getting the phrasing right before we can tell our hands what to do. Okay, so listen to it first a few times before you look at the tab, and then look at the tab, marry the two together, and then try and play it. Right, so it's important I pointed that out before I forgot. So we're on to phrase number 2 here. All right, it's a little bit trickier this, because you've got to move around a bit, but as I say, we can probably find easier fingering positions once we know what we're doing. All right, so we're going to start off with strings 5 and 3. The 5 is at the 2nd fret, and you're going to play the 5 and 3 together. The 3 is open. Move your 2nd finger up to the 3rd fret, and put your 1st finger on the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, and then 4 and 2 open. All right, so that's your first phrase. Du, 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 du. Next phrase. 4 and 2 again, open. 4 and 2 again, a fret 1 and 2. Then open again. Then back to this 3rd string, 2nd fret, 5th string, 3rd fret. Back to the 4 and 2, a frets 1 and 2. And then a quick jump down. You've got to be careful you don't fluff this. Okay, this is one where I think I made a little bit of a fluff earlier on when I did it, and I couldn't be bothered doing it again. Alright, so I'll play that again. Okay, I'll do it really slowly. Da da dum dum da 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 dum. Stay there to pick up the next phrase. Da 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 dum dum. Okay, so we stay on that on this 4 and 3. We play the 4 and 3, and then we drop our 3rd finger onto the 4th string at the 3rd fret, and we play an open 5th with it. So we've got, and then we put our 2nd finger on the 5th string at the 2nd fret and play an open 3rd with that, and then we move that finger back to this shape that we should be familiar with by now, which is the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, 5th string at the 3rd, and we play that twice. So that phrase is okay. Then the final phrase, back to this shape again. I'm not going to, you know what it is, you can see it. 4 and 2, 4 and 2 open, 5 and 3 here again, 4 and 2 open, 4 and 2 at the shape again, 4 and 2 open. That phrase, and it is. Okay, we repeat all that again. Oops. And then at the end of the 2nd time round, you will add, where it says there, these 2 bits, that and that. First time round you'll play up to the 2 zeros here, and then the 2nd time round on this one you'll play those, and those 2 bring you back into this section. So let me play that 2nd section again. And again. And then at the end of the 2nd time, back to this shape to play 5 and 3. Drop your finger down to the 2nd fret and play 5 and 3 again. And then So that's Throw Down the Sword, the introduction, and you can end it like this. Just put something on the end. But it's just a nice little thing to learn how to play and to get that twin lead thing going. Remember, the name of the album is Argus, and Andy Powell, you know, take my word for it, listen to it. Listen to a track called In Particular Time Was, and you will hear the most astonishing guitar sound. Well, as I say, and I've been around the block a lot, you know, in my time, and I've never heard a better guitar sound than on that album. All right, so give it a listen. What else is I was going to say? Nothing much. Yeah, one of the things, you know, these two guitar players, you know, I keep getting asked, you know, what makes a great guitarist? What makes a great lead guitar player? You know, but I want you to think about this for those people who are electric guitarists and, you know, they're watching all the YouTube channels, like you're probably watching this one and stuff. And when you watch a lot of these things, you will, you know, you can learn all the scales on the pentatonic and the Aeolian and all that sort of stuff. But when it gets down to it, when you look at interviews by people like, excuse me, Slash or Dave Gilmour or any of the greats, that the first thing they'll say is, well, I sort of know rough scales. I didn't study them that much. I sort of, you know, I learned how to play a few bits and pieces and I just sort of make things up as I go along. And the greatest guitarists, the most famous electric guitar players are people like Eric Clapton, because you can remember the solos that he did. You know, in fact, one of his most famous introductions, which I personally don't like it, is that down 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 down. I mean, you can learn that in 2 minutes. I would teach that to a beginner, and yet it's one of his most famous guitar licks. You know, Jimi Hendrix. You know, he wasn't a fast player. Hendrix, he could play speedily, but he wasn't fast. But his feel is stunning. You know, you could remember everything he did was memorable. You know, and Mark Knopfler's the same. Every single lick in Sultans of Swing, you can remember. And when he doesn't play it like that, people are disappointed. Rightly so, I think, because, you know, every melodic line is perfect. So, and they become famous because of it. That's why they're famous. So you can learn to play faster than the speed of light if you want. And all it'll do is bore people eventually, because you can't go around humming something that's too fast. It's impossible, all right? Little bursts of speed are fantastic, you know, but you've got to have space in between, all right? Why do I mention that? Because these two players on this album, and I'm not getting paid to promote this, by the way, I'm just telling you the truth. This really, really got me into playing electric guitar. Everything I play, every lick I play, I probably nicked from this album, all right? So check it out. Right, I'm going to go back in the garden. It's sunny outside, but I thought I'd do this quickly while it was fresh in my mind. So I'll catch you later. All right, look after yourself. See you soon. Bye.